Hi, my name is Jessie. I'm an integrative doctor of physical therapy at the Healing Collective in Niwot, Colorado. And this video is going to cover a progression of yoga asanas, postures, that really help to soothe and calm the nervous system. Now, there's a very important contraindication to the cluster of postures we'll cover today, and that is if you have a disc pathology, an intervertebral disc problem, herniated disc, bulging disc, painful disc syndrome, anything around discogenic pain, these postures could exacerbate or make worse that pain. So if you know that you have a history of disc problems, you should probably come in and see someone to have that assessed before trying these postures. Also, a red flag in any of the progression of postures we'll go through today is if your pain increases. These should be soothing, alleviating, calming, gentle, and if you have any inkling of discomfort or pain, that's an immediate red flag that says stop, come out of it, and reassess, whether that's with your own medical provider or coming in to see me and we can assess what's going on and why. Ultimately, forward bending postures where the spine goes into a flexion position tend to be soothing for the nervous system. And this is from yogic wisdom and also from modern science. We know that the movements of the body impact the physiological state, the chemistry in the body, the mood, the emotional status. So we're going to begin gently and progress systematically toward what will be our peak posture that we'll look at today, which is Sarvangasana, the shoulder stand, which is not a posture that you should attempt from a video. So once we get to that point, the assumption is that you have a yoga practice, you've been trained in how to perform Sarvangasana from an in-person live instructor that can watch your movement patterns and really make sure that it's safe and healthy for you to proceed. But anything leading up to that is what we can work with in the meantime, building up to the full shoulder stand posture, asana. I hope you enjoy. The first step in exploring forward bending can be done in an office chair, in a stool, on any kind of a chair. And you'll begin by scooting toward the front edge of the chair. It's best if the chair doesn't have wheels because then it's not flying out from under you. But it's okay to work with what you have. Let your feet be wider than hips apart because we'll end up diving in between the knees here in just a moment. First, just start by breathing along the length of your spine. So you can use your mind's eye to imagine as you inhale the breath traveling down from top to bottom, filling you up, and as you exhale, the breath traveling back up and out of the body. The exhale is more associated with calming the nervous system. The inhale is more associated with activating and enlivening the body. So you might invite the exhale to last just a bit longer than your inhale. And then on your next exhale, begin to simply allow your chin to draw toward your throat, feeling length in the back of the neck. Inhale here, pausing, just observing, absorbing, checking in, making sure this is a movement that feels safe for your body. On your next exhale, allow the next few segments below your neck to begin to round forward. There's no rush here. Pause as you inhale. Exhale again,
allowing the next few spinal segments to come forward and round. Let your shoulders round forward. You might allow the elbows to rest on your thighs. And just absorb the effects of this in the body. This might be as far as you go today. Never stretching into discomfort. And just noticing, observing the internal state in the body. And just doing this for 10 or so breaths can have profound impacts on calming your nervous system. To come out, place your palms on your thighs and use your arm strength to slowly, as you inhale, press back up to seated. Let your chin come up last. Roll your shoulders back and down. And just feel and absorb the effects of that very simple practice on your nervous system. The next stage, if you choose to progress, and the green flags for progression is that you came up and that felt amazing. That felt really good and nourishing and helpful for your body. It didn't cause any discomfort. It didn't evoke any sense of fear or constriction in your body. That usually means it's okay to progress to the next step. So it will start the same way as the initial. Following your breathing. As you exhale, chin comes toward the throat. Inhale to pause. Exhale, the next few segments of the neck rolling forward, rounding forward. Inhale to pause. Exhale, the shoulder blades round forward. Perhaps the elbows make it to the thighs. Maybe not. Maybe that happens the next round of breath. Pause as you inhale. Now see that your sits bones are planted into the chair, and you can even tuck the tail under ever so slightly and gently to feel more elongation all the way down into the lower back. Let the head dangle like a ripe fruit on a vine. On the next exhale, you might allow the arms to drape forward between the legs. And observe if this feels nourishing, safe for your nervous system. You can stay. The next exhale might take you an inch or two deeper into the roundness of the low back now. So middle back is rounded, low back is rounded, head is dangling, arms are dangling. And then just enjoy 5 full, deep breaths here, or coming out of the posture whenever is appropriate for you. The way that you would emerge out of the posture is press strongly through the palms of your feet as you draw the hands back to the thighs, and then use the pressing of the feet and the pressing of the palms of the hands to round, slowly roll slowly back up to seated. Observe and absorb there for a few moments, noticing the effects in the nervous system, checking in to ensure that this feels healthy and safe for your body. A counter pose, if this is not feeling optimal, is just placing the hands behind the hips on the chair. You can grasp the back of the chair or the arms of the chair, and inhale, open the chest, lift the heart, rock the pelvis forward so that you're creating an arched spine rather than a rounded spine, and then come back to neutral. the next step in our progression, as long as those initial 2 versions felt very nourishing and caused no pain whatsoever, is to take this to the floor. So you'll sit with your knees bent, and it's really helpful to have some pillows, blankets, bolster, something to place under your knees to take up this negative space. So I have 3 wool blankets that I've folded in what I call the long fold, and I place these underneath my knees. So that I have a pretty generous bend here. This generous bend helps to make the posture just more supportive here. Very similar to what we did in the chair, we'll start at the upper cervical spine where the neck meets the cranium, the bones of the head, and you'll start segmentally from there. I like to lean forward just a bit so that I feel like I'm not using my muscles to hold myself up right here. So leaning forward, you can hold on to your legs. You could even find a yoga belt or strap and place it around the bottoms of your feet and just kind of give yourself a little added support just this way. So whatever is soothing and comfortable for your nervous system, hanging on to the belt might feel like you're engaging too many muscles and it feels like work. So if that's the case for you, just let that go. But you might enjoy just having a little extra support there, depending upon how long your arms are, how long your legs are, the length of your torso, your trunk. So from here, beginning at the top, on your exhale, slowly, gently drawing chin toward throat. Inhale to pause. Exhale, rounding a little bit further, letting the shoulders come forward. And now, once we've kind of involved the shoulders, there's usually not the need to hold on, right? You can hinge from the hips if that hasn't happened for you yet. Rounding the back, lowering the head, walking the arms forward. Just feeling the entire length of the spine elongating in the back body. Draw your belly toward your spine and just see if that offers you a little bit more support so that the back body can let go. You might stack your fists or a yoga block under your forehead so that you have support there. You might allow the head to sink and touch the blankets. And once you feel like you've landed, so to speak, enjoy some very deep, full, expansive exhalations here. Seeing what more you can let go of with each passing breath. If there's anywhere in the body that feels tense or like it's almost being stretched too much, just come out of the pose a tiny bit and give yourself a little more support, whether that's with another blanket, a bolster, a block. And as you breathe here, we want to be in a position, a space where you're not feeling like a big stretch, but instead are feeling like you're right at the edge of sensation. And you're breathing in such a way that the nervous system is able to soften and let go. So to emphasize, the purpose of this is not to stretch your body, it's to retrain the nervous system that it's safe to be here. Training the nervous system that this is a place that it can go to deeply let go. when there is a stretch or an overstretch, that can be stressful to the nervous system. So don't overdo this. Just go to where feels like you can stay for a while. Backing out a little if needed. And enjoying and deepening into your breath. And staying as long as you like. And when it's time to come out of the posture, place the hands on the legs or on the blankets and use the strength of your arms to push you back up to an upright position slowly, slowly. And as a gentle counter pose, place your hands behind the body and just let your heart lift a little bit here. Place the feet onto the floor. Remove your bolsters, blankets, pillows, and lower your knees one side then the other. Our next expression of these soothing nervous system postures takes us to the wall. So you'll want to, if you're using a yoga mat, place your mat long ways right up against the edge of the wall. And then you'll come to lie on your back with your legs up the wall. You don't have to be right up next to the wall. So I'm about a foot away. I'm laying down onto one side, kind of like a sleep position, and then sending one leg at a time up the wall, and then placing the feet on the wall, placing my elbows into the floor and pushing into the wall with my feet to realign my spine so I'm nice and centered on my yoga mat and perpendicular to the wall. From here, I'll rest my arms at my sides or out to the side in a goalpost position, in a T position, wherever it feels like the shoulders can stay down and away from the ears comfortably. And we'll keep the feet to the wall. And instead now of starting at the head and rolling forward, we're gonna visit starting at the tailbone and rolling up, right? So relaxing the neck, relaxing the shoulders, feeling the stability of the shoulder blades planted against the floor. Find your breath again. Following the breath as you inhale. And as you exhale, on your next exhale, you'll start by curling the tailbone, just the tip of your tailbone up and off the floor, trying to keep the rest of your spine attached or in contact with the earth. Inhale to lower everything back down. It's almost like peeling up a string of pearls, one segment at a time. As you exhale, lifting off of the floor. Inhale, lowering down, and just really noticing, is there a segment of your spine that kind of skips as you segmentally roll off the floor? See what you can do to really enliven or activate that one segment. So for example, in my body, I'm feeling like just above my sacrum, the triangular bone at the base of the spine, I can sense the sacrum, but then it feels like it skips one or two lumbar vertebrae. So I'm really focusing on seeing, can I sense each of those segments? I'm peeling up one bone at a time. And here, the goal is not to get your whole spine off the floor. It's really to sense and feel and articulate especially these lower lumbar vertebrae, which for many of us tend to be in more of an extension position, like an arched position, and it can be challenging to re-engage muscles in such a way that neutralizes this lumbar region. So very therapeutic activity here, segmentally bringing your awareness to the lower bones of the spine and working here. There's no rush to get, like I said, the whole spine off the floor. It's really more about giving your awareness, your attention, your mindful attention to these lower segments, moving with breath. Preparing you for the ability to have longevity in your amazing spine. You might work just here for weeks, right? For weeks, and just really nourishing the intervertebral discs with this movement, with your breath, with your mindful attention. And after you feel like you've enlivened these lower lumbar segments, you can begin to bring the movement up. And just noticing again where, if you skip a segment, really taking your time with the blind spots, so to speak, or the areas that we tend to skip over. You have the potential, the power, the ability here to retrain your nervous system, reawaken muscles that have been compensated for by other muscles, so that you have full integration in your entire spine, nerves, muscular system. Feeling the pelvic floor muscles engage to support these movements. Feeling the muscles across the low belly, the transversus muscles, activating, coming alive. And here, not going up as high as possible, right? Because I'd like to, before we progress to more of a shoulder stand preparation, there's a blanket position we need to explore to really help support the neck. But going as high as feels safe, comfortable, unthreatening here, gentle, soothing. And once you feel a sense of completion here, you might like to cross your legs and lean your knees against the wall, or bent knees, rolling over to whichever side feels nourishing for you, holding your head for support, taking your time here, as much time as you need before sitting up. So thank you for joining me in these really soothing preparatory poses toward Sarvangasana, the shoulder stand. But even if you never practice shoulder stand, the postures in this progression are so deeply healing and soothing for the nervous system. They're powerful. So what brings them their potency is the level of awareness and presence and attention you can bring to these postures. So I strongly encourage you to work with these for some time before progressing to the full shoulder stand posture, which will be coming up in an upcoming video. So stay tuned. Be well.